Okay, right. So first of all, we're going to move this box down so I can draw on top of it. So it's going to be just below the origin. That's good enough. Okay, now to top viewport, and we'll go to create, splines, shapes, splines, line. Here now we want to do this in a way that allows us to create nice, regular, straight right angles wherever. So I'm going to use the shift key to keep the lines horizontal and vertical. Put a click on your first corner, hold the shift down and just keep drawing. Try not to drag because you'll get curves. Put a vertex where there's going to be a window or doorway, but don't try and leave a gap. So it's going to be continuous, closed, boxy shape. And try and get the end position back up to where you started, and you'll get this closed spline. So that was pretty painless. Okay, now we're going to go to the perspective view so we can see what's going on a bit better. Okay, if the pink line is lost, you can see it rising above here. Not clear on the plan though. Okay, every object has its sub-object, so line has vertex, segment, spline. We want to go spline, select all, that's Control and A, and we need the outline box. What we're going to do is put a figure in there. This will be a minus figure to make the outline go within the outer wall that we've just drawn, and I'm going to go for -10, put that in and hit the outline, and a bit thick but it makes the point. Okay, now back up to line level, and we'll go to modify list and choose cross section. This links the inner and outer with an edge. Well, it's a segment at this point, but it's soon going to become an edge. Okay, now at this point we've also finished with the box as a plan definer. So just going to zoom out a bit, straighten up a bit, and push the box sideways, selecting it first, obviously. Okay, make sure the box is selected so we're not just moving the gizmo. Okay, move it over to one side, and now we want to move it up so it's the same height, sort of from the same origin point as the base, and then we can use it as a guide for the height. So if I just right click on this Z-axis hero, that re-zeros it, which is nice and precise. Okay, I'm going around this side because actually there's a good window section here that I'm going to base the rest of this on. So the actual angle of view isn't critical at this point. Okay, so back to the cross section, select that, and we're going to extrude it the same height as the box. Now I remember the height of the box as being 400, and I'm highly likely to get that ready filled in because I practiced this a bit. We've also got two segments there. That gives us a nice line halfway up, which is like the join between the two stories of the building, which is just what we want actually. So I'll go edge faces, F4, and this now serves as the basis for adding the loops. We need horizontal loops to form the top and bottom of the windows. But we can't do that while it's still a line with some modifiers on. So we've got to flatten it, like in Photoshop. You flatten all the layers, and it wants to be editable poly, so convert to editable poly. Okay, and now we've got access to these modeling tools because it's an editable poly, and so we want Swift loop, but we want to make a loop inside and outside. So I'm going to go Alt X to go see through, and then choose Swift loop. Now Swift loop will work on the inside and the outside, and we need to get them to be at matching heights. So about there for an outside outer one, and then about one about here. Okay, now we need to do the same thing inside. If you mess around a bit, you might get an inside one. Coming pretty automatically. Now sometimes it's easier just to spin round and have a look at the inside. And just make sure, zoom in a bit, just make sure they're around about the same height. Now you'll get an eye for this as you're going along. There we go. Okay, while we're looking here, we'll look and see clearly the window there. I'll go up over here to Polygon Modeling Tools, Polygon Sub-Object, select that one, spin round, hold Control down, select that one. You can see down here, 2 polygons selected. Okay, now the magic of this bit is to use the bridge. There we go, polygon. I'm going to just let this hang a bit. So that's one use of the bridge from the illustration. If I hold Shift down, I can use the settings menu for this. Drag it over to one side, and we're going to have 3 segments. Type that in. That's 3 segments. I'm going to build this taper in, which gives an impression a bit like a window frame inset. And prior experimentation gives me 0.2. Nope, that's gone inwards, so we also need a negative in front of that. There we go. Just spin round there a bit. Give you a better idea of the profile. Okay. Turn Alt X off. That's not see through anymore. F4 to remove the edge faces, and there it is. Oh, Control D, deselect all. That's not too bad. That's the real power of the bridge. So it creates surfaces joining to planes with areas that were previously hidden. So you deleted the polys and mapped out 3 segments round this edge here. Okay, that's it.